back. I got a fancy crow. And we are now in the footfall system. Which gets to Sardak. I don't know, there's probably some talking to do with people. Helmsman Ravor! Remind me, who are you? I am the Master Helmsman, Lord Captain. Stand at the wheel of this here tub, your vessel, and bark commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I am the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? Hello, World of Light! How do? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp, too. But most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they account for nothing in here. My part's small enough. I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and don't kick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation. That kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor, the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way. Who are these idiots who you are in charge of? There are too many to list them. All. Tech priests from the Engineerium, voidsmen from the augur decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I'd have ever less one of them flogged. They'll need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape, or else this ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll be going somewhere we don't want it to. Must have dealings with the navigator as part of your duties. River stares at you before blurting out, "Damn it, Lord Captain, tell the truth. I've been asking myself. Where'd the Lord Captain fish this Orselio girl out of? Now, it's not like I've met many navigators, but this one, I don't feel safe with that little princess pulling her void ship through the warp. She's done a decent job so far, though, so I guess she's managing. I can see you're not a gregarious sort." River's eye twitches, which makes the grimace on his face even uglier. Have I done something to displease the Lord Captain? On the contrary, you're the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. That's good to hear, Wall. The helmsman's perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile, sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you haven't had me flogged for insubordination. Will wonders never cease? River points at the cables around himself. Connecting wires. Once they go to the control panel, I become one with the ship, except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus injectors, and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in me noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. This doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain. I must take my leave. Lord Captain? Oh, Junta, how you doing?
Greetings.
Okay. I've talked to you as much as I can. Uwe says your lordship.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
What does your special sight reveal? Your special eyes.
The esteemed Magos Haneman is shattered, like a beautiful stained glass window into a mosaic of colors. His bright, beckoning hues are mixed together in complete disarray. I must confess it perplexes me. Normally, scarlet and steel are all that fills the heart of a servant of the Omnissiah. Behind the cobalt steel of his thoughts, behind the cold, faded gray of his emotions, an ember, the color of amber, glows in Master Van Kalox's soul. So bright and warm, one is tempted to touch it. It is sad that the interrogator seeks to drown it with his own hands in the bottomless blue of duty. Sad indeed, but I can relate.
Cassia looks into the distance, transfixed, as though it Aren't you standing in front of her? Then she snaps out of it and lowers her eyes.
Cubella is bathed in crimson as bright as fresh blood, and its sight is all the more striking in the embrace of impenetrable darkness. And yet, there is no malice in these heavy shadows. They are impartial, morose, uncompromising, and ever consuming what weak flashes of other colors there may appear. I have enjoyed your...
Heinrich, what you got to say? Anything? Remind me, who are you? I am but a humble laborer in charge of putting out fires and dealing with emergencies, but everyone calls me the Infernus Master. I guess this is because I answered for them with my life. Anyway, with your life, you say? That's right. Picture flames roaring, all the ship's systems have failed, including the artificial gravity. You can't make out anything because of the red-hot debris, and you know an explosion is coming. It's a nightmare, but it's your job to evacuate the panicked crew, eliminate the cause of the fire, and get the compartment back in working order. Of course, the job description doesn't allow me to risk my life now, he smiles sadly. It's all about management these days, sending the boys and girls into the fire. But it's all nonsense. If the going gets tough, I won't be there alone. Or I won't leave them there alone. What kind of emergencies does the Infernus Guild deal with? Oh, there are many. Accidents due to external factors, for example. Hits from enemy guns or collisions with hollow objects like the wreckages of other ships. There are plenty of internal causes as well, from system malfunctions and short circuits to problematic cargo. A couple of years ago, something blew up in the hold. Nearly burned it to a crisp. And then there's sabotage. That Vodvir snake did a lot of damage to the ship. Laborer, then why are you wandering around on the bridge? Simple answer is because nothing is on fire. As head of the Infernus Guild, I'm mired in the officers' routine of report and discussions. There are several compartment upgrades, refurbishments on the agenda right now, and I have to make sure that fire safety protocols are followed everywhere. Rest assured, I'll scurry back to the technical base to do manual labor as soon as all the paperwork is done. Aren't you being a little too relaxed in front of your Lord Captain? Perhaps because I live under the constant threat of an agonizing death by fire, I have a repressed, self-preservation instinct. And maybe I just relish every minute I get to breathe EHO smoke instead of cinders. I humbly apologize for my manners, Lord Captain. Ender continues to smile without a shred of embarrassment. This is fine. I enjoy having informal conversations. I'm glad you feel that way. Life is too short to waste on ceremonies. It's better to present yourself as you are immediately. I agree with that. Door. Hey, Boxmaster Vigdis. Lord Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? You'd be interested to know that a group of officers was just discussing a grim rumor over lunch. Word has it the apparition of Lord Captain Theodora has been sighted on board lately. Yes, you heard right. They say she's haunting the decks, dragging wayward crew members off into oblivion. Disquiet has spread throughout the ship, as the anomaly has been reported in different sections, sometimes even kilometers apart. The Voxmaster leans closer to you. Master Heinrich von Kalex expressed interest in our communication stations and Voxnachts a short while ago. The interrogator appears to be very well versed in the matters of sacred technology. And it worries me. The man of his knowledge and in his line of work is capable of discreetly planting his own devices in our systems. We will be vigilant, Lord Captain, but you should try to be more careful as well. Remind me who you are. Voxmaster Octavius Vigdis Suri Otta of the Ptoleman dynasty, the current Voxmaster serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Voxmaster Septimus, who was my grandfather. That'll be all for now. I live to serve, Lord Captain. Go talk. Look at Edlard.
Lord Captain.
We've exhausted all of his stuff.
Lord Captain.
Heinrichs, we haven't talked to you at all. Heinrichs looks at you intently, his head tilted. I know nothing about you, Heinrichs. Could you tell me a little about yourself?
I'm usually the one interested in the pasts of those around me, not the reverse. I come from a night world, Guizorn 3. I belong to a branch of one of the noble houses until my exceptional abilities were discovered. After that, I was sent on a black ship to Holy Terra, where I was trained and I began my service for the glory of the Imperium.
Do you remember your home planet?
I do, but I have no ties to my homeworld now. None except my first name. I left Guizorn 3 when I was still a child. My family disowned me, stripping me of my family name. I was given a new one by those who trained me. Even for a noble, being branded a psyker is a mark of eternal shame. I experienced that firsthand before I was put on the black ship.
How did you discover your abilities?
Like many psykers unaware of their curse, I found out when a strong emotional reaction triggered an involuntary response. My great-aunt had a pet grink. One day, it bit me, and I boiled it from inside out. And when my great-aunt slapped me for what I'd done, I boiled her too.
I expected a more dramatic story.
If I were to summon a demon or rain down fire on everyone's heads, we wouldn't be standing here talking right now. However, I took the life of a family member. In my opinion, that is more than enough drama.
Tell me about the Black Ship.
Picture a vast prison ship, filled with frightened, angry psykers who can't control their abilities and who have just lost their homes and their families. Some of them were children and adolescents like I was. Some were monstrous creatures who no longer had the right to be called human, or psychopaths who reveled in their impure powers. Once, when one of the miscreants broke free, those in command simply depressurized the bay and got rid of the culprit, along with the prisoners and crew tainted by him. But even after that, I heard the echo of inhuman suffering and terror that filled that part of the ship. It grieves me to recall that episode to this day.
You were sent to the Inquisition straight after training?
No. First, I was accorded the status of a psyker fit for service in the Imperial Guard, where I then spent several years. It was only afterward that I became an agent of the Golden Throne.
Heinrich stops there, clearly not intending to elaborate further. Let's talk about something else. How long have you served in the Inquisition?
Since the day of my initiation as an acolyte. So, decades. How many real years it's been, it's hard to say. When I return from a journey through the warp, I often discover that much more or much less time has passed in real space.
You visited many worlds during your service, I'll wager.
Indeed. I have visited many of the places brought to the Emperor's light, and those sullied by the filth of the archenemy. In truth, even after all these years spent visiting the various corners of the Imperium and looking beyond its borders, I still consider the Segmentum Solar to be the greatest of all humanity's bastions. Nothing compares to the majesty of Holy Terra, the might of Mars, the grandeur of the Segment's other worlds.
What duties have you been carrying out for the Inquisitor?
You can't really be expecting me to answer that question, can you?
The interrogator returns your look and smiles. Thanks to the expression in his ice-cold eyes, the effect is rather unnerving. For someone who's been in service for decades, you certainly look young.
The first step for biomancers such as myself is to take control of the processes of their own body, including aging. I've endured innumerable hazards in my work. If I allowed every trace of them to remain, I would look completely different today.
Let's change the subject. You're not the Inquisitor's only acolyte, correct?
Of course not. The Lord Inquisitor's entourage comprises dozens of people. The best of the best. Experts in various fields and disciplines. Some of them I know personally. Others I've never met. To be honest, I'm not even certain that the people I know are still alive. I used to work with other acolytes of the Lord Inquisitor, but in the Coronis Expanse, I've been working alone.
Heinrich's expression becomes pensive, and he seems to look through you to something beyond. Wandering among the stars without friends or family? Don't you get lonely? Let's see, if you're an interrogator, does that mean you hold a special position in the retinue?
We are not a retinue. We are acolytes. As for your question, I am closer than anyone else to the one I call my personal teacher. The Lord Inquisitor deemed me worthy of undertaking the most important and sensitive tasks requiring the attention of agents of the Golden Throne.
Are there other acolytes in the Coronis Expanse? The interrogator narrows his eyes at you and releases a disappointed sigh. After several seconds of silence, you realize that you will not be getting an answer.
Such as?
Let's talk about something else. What can you do as a psyker?
The Lord Inquisitor was most insistent that I master the discipline of Santic Demonology. I use my faith and my power to crush the enemies of the Imperium. Servants of Chaos tremble at the sound of the Emperor's name, uttered by my lips. I am also a skilled biomancer. I can manipulate bodily processes. Sometimes I resort to those skills in the course of my work, when it is necessary to make the subject of an interrogation more cooperative.
Well, on that note, I must take my leave. Heinrich politely inclines his head in response. Trader's Cogitator. Oh, there's this whole section up here. Jocasta and the Cogitator. Howdy, Jocasta. Talks to you. Adira. I haven't really talked to you much. Got a new story for me, Adira?
You bet I do, Lord Captain.
Adira becomes much more animated, and her expression turns slightly dreamy as she recalls one of her stories.
Okay, so we went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to.
Yeah, I really don't care.
They sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm
See,
hovering
I'd like to hear
around
your
like I'm
augury,
not
Adira.
involved,
What awaits
but
me in the future?
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you. Another road. The road begins at the threshold of the expanse and leads to the bowels of the emerging world.
Reading the threads of fate is not meant for you, slave of the enthroned corpse. Step into the embrace of doom, for thus was it preordained by the architect of fates.
That wasn't me. I swear on everything that's holy. I don't know what the second road is or who watches over it, but I beg you, stay away from it. Of course.
Okay. I don't know, I think Have I spoken with Pascal much?
Sire knows all, comprehends all.
I want to know the truth about you.
The request is approved. I did conceal certain information. I was a student of Archmagos Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
Let's see, the Mechadendrites coil around the tech priest's chest and shoulders as if trying to protect him. What did Amarnat do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things. My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and false worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Fascinating.
Acknowledged.
How did you portray Amarnat?
The teachings of the Blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance Fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected tech priests, resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance Fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave. I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen anthematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
You acted as a loyal son of the Imperium should.
I pray that the Omnissiah grants us wisdom to overcome the dialectic differences that divide us.
The Vox system emits a painful crunch, like the sound of snapping bone. So why did you go to Rycad Minoris?
I was summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the Blessed Amanat's personal code. And could it be interpreted in several ways? One thing was certain. We were in danger, and I had to go to Rycad Minoris.
The tech priest named Abel. Who is he?
I never met him, but I think he was a person of worth. The phrase that came from his lips indicates he was in contact with my mentor. I preserved his cortical implant and absorbed the information it contained. However, the large amounts of data memories are encoded with a cipher yet unfamiliar to me.
What are you going to do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the Blessed Archmagos Amanat, who assumed the guise of Abel Haneman. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link.
I have no more questions.
Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search for the Blessed Amanat. May your labor...
Well then. Oh, nice pile of talking. Let's go poke around the ship. Freight line, already been there. Captain's quarters, let's spread the chapel. Just in case. You never know. Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Lord Captain's quarters, see if there's anything more that I might have missed, maybe. And then we can start exploring the space. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything. So then, Cronus Expanse map for Abundus. Master Helmsman Rivor, Lord Captain. Rivor's voice over the Vox sounds weary rather than annoyed. I'm getting reports of several ships moving towards us. Judging by the fact that they're not responding to our hails and the telemetry shows a trail of macro batteries, they're not here for a chinwag, ready to issue orders to prepare for battle at your command. Where did they come from? Why haven't you noticed them before? The rubbish of Furibundus. I'm not talking about these wrecks that they're about to open fire. I mean the remains of meteorites, gas clouds, refuse from the shipyards. It all bunches together, and smaller ships hide behind it to harass ships as they emerge from the warp. Could this be the work of Conrad Votfair? Silence over the Vox lasts for several seconds. It's possible he could have hired some scum, or maybe it's just a pirate who saw the state of our ship and decided to push his luck. Can we evade this combat? He snorts or rather chuckles. I don't think so, Lord Captain. There'd be no reason to. It'd be easier to blast these scum to smithereens than to evade them. Full-born footfall, we're coming with a few macro salvos. On my order, all stations get ready for void combat. And now for the first void combat of the series. Hey. Cobra-class destroyers. Void ship ram. Launch 4. Torpedo salvos with plasma warheads in the selected location. They move and attack, starting the next round. While attacking, 19 direct damage on hit and 13 in one cell area on miss, detonating on a proximity fuse. Or the Mazoa Lance weapon. A range weapon dealing 40 to 55 damage to a chosen enemy within a narrow firing arc. No. So restart shields. Ram. I guess move here. And fire the Mazoa Lance. Then let's go ahead and get those out. And I can broadside. My turn. Ground. What's that I got on me? Voidfarer's Inspiration. Touched weapons. Improved critical chance. Okay. Powerful shields reduces speed and firing range for next turn. torpedo control. And that's one dealt with. Okay, just gonna get more torpedoes going. Don't quite have range for any of that. Let's see. Swing run. Let's see. Flagship flies in a straight line, making a full U-turn at the end. Oh, that could be useful. Unfortunately, I am just getting massively outmaneuvered at this point. And there we go. Let's see, what's all macro cannons? Let's absolutely unload on it. Oh, and then just absolutely eliminate them. Cool. Yay! Some machinery, some scrap. Okay, now I have a better idea of that, so... yeah, more hull would be nice. Let's go get repaired up. So yeah, I might as well upgrade the hull then. Development. Swing around torpedo control posts. Yeah. Persuasion, demolition, tech use, athletics, lower warp. That'll be me. Master of Etherics. That'd be Cassia. Master of Maneuvers. Heinrichs, I suppose. Although he actually has an ability for that. Yeah. Definitely want you... Or, Pascal as the Shield Master. Master Cannoneer as Argenta. Supreme Commander. Focused efforts allows the use of both abilities of one selected post for one turn. I guess I'm gonna put Heinrichs there. Arc Agri. Flagship's next shot gains 2 range. That actually could be quite useful. Warp Wave. Flows of the Immaterium cause an enemy ship to immediately turn 45 to 90 degrees, depending on the ship's maneuverability. If the enemy ship has suffered hull damage, this abrupt turn deals damage equal to 15 to 20% of the ship's missing hull. Twice that. Shallow jump. The flagship makes a shallow warp jump in a straightforward direction. So yeah, it might actually be better putting me there. Put Dara as the warp channeler. Definitely want you there. You're good there. Vulnerability scan. Faultless transport. Flagship's weapons deal plus 5% damage and critical hit, and have a 5% more critical hit chance by virtue of strict discipline. Nice. Okay. There's an Ash World here. Scanning for a scan. Lord Captain, station's airlocks have been sealed from the inside. The Vox recording is stating that the priesthood of the Altar Templum Calixtus X-17 Sanctuary have no desire to communicate with laity, and are refusing access to guests on the basis of the Adeptus Mechanicus's privilege of not to be violated, granting them sole jurisdiction over their sacred sites. Sure. Drusus's blessing. Lord Captain, we have the flagship Drusus's blessing with a small escort dead ahead. They are requesting a direct Vox channel, patching you through. Chartist Captain Asterius Thorfast. The Vox channel clicks, and after a brief pause, a dry, low voice hails you. Greetings, Lord Captain. I am honored to speak with the rogue trader of House von Valancius. May your name be known throughout the ages. Chartist companion Captain Asterius Thorfast, bearer of a free charter of the merchant fleet. How can I be of service? What is your squadron doing here? We develop supply routes for Chartists. You see, my ship is a representative of the merchant fleet in this part of Imperium territory, yet we do not have a fixed charter-defined trade route. Our mission is to establish business contacts with voidfarers in need of regular ship repairs and those who are interested in specialized goods. I would like to take a look at the catalog of components available for purchase. Okay, so this is how you get more stuff. Cool. Another Minnesota Lance. I like having both the torpedo tubes and the Lance. Mars pattern prow battery. Short range. Okay. Anyway, reputation. Oiled. Trophies. Cost. Void pirate trophies would be nice. Again, do I really need... Let's see, military ceramite void ship plating. I guess this might be better when I get more ships. Anyway, from where do you source the components you sell? Are you asking me to disclose our suppliers to you? Lee laughs airily. Well, frankly, they come from both everywhere and nowhere. We get our wares either from lucky voidsmen who stumble upon an abandoned or dilapidated ship somewhere in a neighboring system, or from unlucky ones whose sorry tub arrives on footfall in such a state that it's easier to take her apart than to restore her. I would like to know more about the merchant fleet's operations in the Cronus Expanse. For the most part, all the Expanse has is fleets of different organizations and small flotillas of merchant ships. Uninterrupted communication between worlds is a matter of life and death for many outposts of humanity, so even in this dark corner of the Imperium there are chartists and ships assigned to the various adeptus. Alas, the Expanse has next to no stable trade routes, so the job can be precarious at times. Then again, no one is more intimately familiar with the hardships of local commerce than a rogue trader. Over and out. Okay, before we hit up Footfall, I need to hit the bathroom. I will be right back. back. Into the hand. What? Down. Just gonna save the game. Just in case. So there's the thing. Pretty far off from leveling up. Cool. Off to Footfall we go! Planetfall on Footfall, huh? Makes the bridge then. Now we're just waiting for the ship to finish inspection. There was an incident in the officer's quarters. The healer team is required. This is Bridge Officer. What are you planning at your solo space? Oh, starting the service work, not you, your lordship. Alright, to another compartment. Or no. Current expanse map. To access Footfall. There we go. Void Dock Alpha Row. Taking the same... Oh, interesting. I can't take Heinrichs. Not that I intended to, but... You know. Landing on Footfall Station. Liege representative. Your lordship, forgive me for not welcoming you with the appropriate obeisance. We were told that you would prefer to arrive on Footfall incognito, and so we are trying to attract as little attention as possible. I'm here on behalf of the Liege of Footfall, Lord of Ledame Takara. Liege awaits the chance to speak with you at his residence, but if you happen to have other business to attend to, I can serve as your guide and tell you about the station. Cassia's lip curls up slightly. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-colored scattering of words of welcome, far less appealing hues lurk, murky and diluted, the look of someone accustomed to lying and hiding their intentions. What's the situation on Footfall? There are certain problems, your lordship, but the Liege can acquaint you with them far better than I. Behind her polite, soft tone, you detect the slightest hint of nervousness. It is as if she is reciting replies she has carefully prepared beforehand. You should really talk to Liege about this. She doesn't get a chance to say the best.
Hey, newcomers! How's this for a warm welcome?
Oh, time to do some killing.
Fire and vigor, our emperor.
17?
Imbue us.
Okay, bunch scattered over there. Let's see what's this relaying. Whenever the Overseer uses a non-attacking single-target psychic power on its Cyber Raven, it's immediately applied to all relevant targets in a 4-cell radius around it, having no effect on the Cyber Raven itself. The effect of those psychic powers is calculated using the Cyber Raven's characteristics, except Cyber. Cyber Raven is considered the enemy's lowest priority. Well then. Let's go ahead and have Cassia set up there. Abelard can get up here to start. Actually, let's say here. Block incoming trouble. Bella can start over here. So Cassio's going to be one of the first. Pascal's going to be pretty late. It's going to be there then. Argenta's going to be pretty early. So she can set up there and start doing some stuff. Azathoth pretty late as well. So there then. Bella herself isn't going to be completely late or early. Let's actually have you take Azathoth's place. Azathoth can wander up here, up there. August doesn't really need to be in cover. Oh, look, let's stand there. Let's get started then. Cassia! What's all this? Oh yeah, the Grand Strategist thing. More armor, and enemies suffer more damage. Let's see, right on that zone of fear. Available lights. On Avalon.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
That would be a waste.
It will be done.
Evalar, let's go ahead and get started on things.
I will do my duty.
Taunting the screen. Argenta. Let's go get started, shall we? Get the rapid fire, and the
Faith without
concentrated
deeds is
fire.
worthless. I refuse. As the
And then
Emperor
just
commands,
one
I act. Doubt is for the weak.
Out of my way!
Some nice damage there.
Hold on!
I've sucked
Let's
blood.
get to it!
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Cabela! Juicy, juicy targets here. Let's see, where it hurts? Executioner's next successful attack. Suffer from the damage of time effects, but it won't be.
Death comes in silence.
It's a lot of. Disturbed and bleeding. So I think Executioner needs to be successful attack. Suffers 3 and monsters removed. Cannot be affected.
As honor ordains. as the tenant brings me no pleasure.
Nice. So, still a few up there. And one, oh, there's way more over there. Still. Actually, let's
I shall
shift
not
3.
fail. The shadows will see death. As honor ordained. As the tenants demand.
And Death Vault.
Let not the righteous fear. May their blades be sharpened, bow or 100. I will kill them all.
And then just go ahead and hop in the cover. And enter.
Let's get to it.
Show me what you've got. Don't touch me.
Blood-stained Amelia.
Nothing. Let's get to it.
Yay. So then. Let's see here. Reactivate. No, it's not gonna do anything. How do I make... my familiar move? Ah, relocate. Then I'd like to let's go ahead and get Ignite. Shift 2 to get another ability down. Oh, Firestorm. And go ahead and just drop into some better cover. And his turn, Abelard, my man. Oh, you can just charge straight at her.
Indeed. At your beck and call.
Then
It will be done.
Although I do that without...
Victory is imminent.
And then just kill her by knocking her into the wall. How nice. Now then. Do you have a line of sight? Down there? Yes, you do. But low chance to hit. That's what I need to do. Let's say move up.
Advancing.
Grab perfect spot. Mark an enemy as prey, like those Ember thugs.
Vital functions successfully terminated.
Prey. Oh, that's why.
Running binary override.
It's your turn, Cassia. How's about you? I guess give those.
If I may,
Give my
if only that
oh,
were possible.
can't. Okay.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Let's see. Relocate. To there. Then purification discharge. Argento.
I'll do it.
Regular slaughter.
As the Emperor commands. Power resides in the will of the righteous. Faith without deeds is worthless.
So why don't you just
I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
take some pot shots?
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
He also
As the Emperor commands, I act.
almost.
I'll do it. As the Emperor
Keep
commands,
firing.
I act.
You can do it.
Faith without deeds is worthless. That is not the Emperor's
And
will.
that's that for you. There's only the one guy left.
Trust me.
So let's start getting over to him.
The shadows will see it done.
Okay, you'll be able to... There you go. Can you get over
As
to
honor
him?
ordains.
Not quite.
I will not die in dishonor.
Now then, time to finish things off. A little bit of fire. And it's combat. For better or worse. The shivering young servant looked up at you with horror in his eyes. Emperor, protect me. They killed. Fear not, young man. We took care of the attackers. Do you know who they were? Your lordship. Those guys are Anvers. They're a gang. They're the worst, I'm telling you. Scared of no one, not even Liege Takara. Glances around like he's expecting more bandits to appear. Does this kind of thing happen often around here? Shooting, yes. Attacks on nobles, not very often, unless it's the Anvers. They're vicious. Not a week goes by without them killing and getting somebody. They're wicked heretics. They respect nothing. They follow no rules. Go and report this to the liege. Yes, sorry, your lordship. Go report to the liege. They killed her. They killed my lady. Oh, this is terrible. And now we get to loot everybody. So, a bunch of auto pistols, axes, chain swords, combat shotgun, shock batons, normal shotguns, weighty axes, carapace chestplate, chainmail, flak armor, flak vest. Generic stuff. Leaflet. We need no rulers or leaders. We're not an organization, we're a force of nature. ANV. Octocon 22. A tall, hunched tech priest stares at you unblinkingly. The breathing mask conceals his gaunt features. The skin on his hands is a sickly gray hue, while his augments show signs of combat damage and are plated in black chromium, giving him a general air of lugubriousness. Second. Lugubriousness. The equality of excessive mournfulness and uncheerfulness. Basically, he looks really, really down. Something. Initiating official greetings procedure to esteemed high-value visitors. Glorious success to House von Valencius. Binaric aura begins to flow from the scratched vox attached to the tech priest's chest. Requesting information exchange regarding contractual obligation Logisticar Theta. Pascal and Opticon 22 exchange glances and a short series of binaric signals before bowing their heads in satisfaction. Oh. Okay, so this is the contact for the explorator fleet. I seek friendship with the Adeptus Mechanicus. The priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus is interested in, considers expeditious cooperation with rogue traders. Under the terms of the Treaty of Mars, it is willing to provide services to the von Valencius dynasty. The priority of service tasks can be raised if diplomatic links are strengthened. The Cognizance fleet will be glad, alternative unavailable, to accept any samples of sacred technology, samples of profane xenotech, miscellaneous items. Reminder, storage, study, and/or disposal of the aforementioned objects, with the exception of 3 miscellaneous items, is the preferential right of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Explorator fleet will also accept information about planets in the Coronis expanse that have not been previously recorded in the planetary register. What is Logisticar Theta? Under the contractual obligation in question, 34.761 Terran years ago, the Explorator Cognizance fleet received from representative authorized units of the von Valencius dynasty a volume of high-grade promethium equal to the fuel capacity of 6 Tantalian void tankers. Received it and then didn't pay. Compensate, remunerate, settle accounts. Should I go on, or is that enough synonyms? The stipulated payment, reciprocal offering from the Cognizance fleet, can be made to von Valencius Essence at the current time, after which the contractual obligation will be fulfilled, archived. Confirm your status regarding acceptance of the payment, reciprocal offering. I have a feeling this would give me more trade value, or whatever thing is. Profit margin. Profit figure, that's it. You waited 30 years to pay up? The execution of payment reciprocal offering is in accordance with the specifications of the contractual obligation. Allocation of assets from the holdings of the Cognizant Yeah, Cognizance Fleet was initiated when the tankers reached the main squadron, 14.905 Terran years after the initial transaction. The asset allocation process concluded. 2.663 Terran years later, transportation of assets to the Furibunda system took 16.862 Terran years. Final delivery of assets to Footfall took 0.331 Terran years. Clever. If you had been purchasing fuel for a squadron at the other end of the Imperium, you may never had to pay at all. We would have had turned to dust before you made it back there. There and back. You're saying the Dynasty has had extensive business dealings with you? This statement is true. The Cognizance fleet included 1,292 contractual obligations with the Von Valancius dynasty as represented, led, administered by the counterparty identified as Theodora von Valancius. The most substantial was Pact 8 Yule, in accordance with which Archmagos Cupus Delphim, data usher of the sevenfold hallowed workshop of the sacred world of Euphrates II, was transferred to the planet Kiavagama to perform duties of minister as its fabricator censor. The services of such a highly enlightened, enhanced, authorized servant were recompensed via the offering of, paid for with, a 7-year contract granting the fleet's exploration vessels maintenance privileges in the Kiavagama's facilities. That is true. In the last couple of decades, Lady Theodora has took pains to form a strong relationship with their Cognizance fleet. She turned down a dozen candidates looking for the right tech monitor to watch over Kiavagama. What payment can I expect? Universal Mobile Orbital Deployment Extracticums. Astra Arator processing complexes in the quantities stipulated in the contractual obligation. Each unit has undergone a cycle of maintenance liturgies and has been assessed for conformance to the sacred standard template construct. Great creations of the Omnissiah, blessed be his beneficence, which has bestowed upon these complexes industrial might and a full cycle of reproduction and life support. Actually, I do want those, so I confirm I'm willing to accept the payment, giving us 2 mobile extractium, a mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the blessed STC. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world, however inhospitable. The Serf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanisms and the extraction of resources needed by the rogue trader. The request is accepted. The sacred machines will be loaded onto the hold of your vessel. The contractual obligation, Logisticar Theta, is concluded. The Cognizance fleet thanks House von Valancius for its cooperation. Why do you want information about planets? Let's see. Omnifaceted study of the Coronis Expanse is the sacred mission operational objective of the Cognizance fleet. Information about the planets and star systems of the Coronis Expanse will be compiled, studied, and transferred to the holy repositories of Mars upon completion of the Great March of Exploration mission. This process increases the totality of knowledge and decreases the totality of ignorance in the universe. Why are you interested in xenotech? Isn't that heresy? The Cognizance fleet finds it reasonable to believes that forbidden knowledge in the hands of the laity causes destruction and violations that go against the Omnissiah's will. Weakness of mind and will unleashes xeno-heresy, which consumes the laity whole. As an example that demonstrates the outlined pattern, a void station in the system of Langrens built. According to the data available to the Cognizance fleet, the heretics on the station have trade relations with Xenos for the sake of obtaining dangerous and pernicious technology. The destruction of these heretics is of high priority, but not high enough to demand immediate action. I have some questions. Plundered void station in Langrens built, and numerous testimonies are serving as a base for stuff. Okay. Information assistance will be provided. Opticon 22? What a strange name. The designation Opticon is an identifier that, with an illustrious history, a significant number of archive references, and is used by many explorators in the Cognizance fleet. The Extension 22 is a custom edition made by the current unit, designed to highlight the unit's unique personality. What is the Cognizance fleet? The Cognizance fleet is an explorator vessel formed, produced by the Adeptus Mechanicus for the purpose of surveying, optionally conquering, the Coronus Expanse. The fleet's core squadron is located in Data Classified, while auxiliary echelons and autonomous void vessels are operating within the entirety, or throughout the entirety of the Coronus Expanse. May the ominous eyes favor be with my tech comrades. Pascal reverently touches the explorator insignia on his robes. You were an explorator, then why are you here instead of exploring faraway systems? This unit functions as a senior planetary scout for the duration, or functioned as a senior planetary scout for the duration of data classified procedural cycles. It is distinguished with 3 promotions by 1 grade, the right to a Tier 2 sacred augmentation, and 3, a notation of the fleet in the fleet-wide archive as a valuable unit. After a recon mission in the Tainaurus system, this unit was promoted to the rank of Logis and transferred to Footfall in order to perform functions appropriate to its current status. This is somewhat close to there is something close to wistfulness in Opticon 22's otherwise emotionless voice. My archive contains data on the reconnaissance of the Tainaurus system and the associated special circumstances. I express my respect for a veteran and adherent of the fleet. Valid assessment. The Tainaurus system was a great test of faith, an assessment of this unit's durability threshold, an act of destructive xenocide. So what happened there? Pascal and Opticon 22 turn to you and snap in unison. Data classified. I love these guys. What are you doing on Footfall? This unit performs residential representation, maintenance of the bureaucratic machine for the purpose of ratification of the insulating boundaries, management of the Kappa thread supply line, and compilation of graphic reconnaissance data. Abelard lets out a long and heavy sigh. There was once a tech acolyte in Lady Theodora's retinue who knew the unique language of the esteemed tech priests. I only began to realize the true value of his abilities after he had been devoured by a xenobeast on some nondescript world. Pascal, do these words have a translation? Right, how very straightforward. This unit is satisfied with the outcome of this communication. Why are you here and not, say, at the Legis Palace? Prolonged communications with the lay people of high social standing causes this unit vexation, desire for forceful cessation of vital functions, grief, decline in motivation, righteous fury, willingness to initiate purity protocol. Remaining in an area of repair and maintenance of sacred machines is beneficial to this unit's cognitive functions. Mood kindred. The statement is true. The behavioral dynamics typical of lay groups is frequently devoid of logical patterns and are taxing to analyze. I have no more questions. I want to make a trade deal. So yes, we still have... Let's see. Favorites, cost... Okay. Is there anything I want from them? Oh! You have different stuff to buy. Let's see. Will to live. Better force sword. Enemies adjacent to the wielder have their toughness reduced by 1. The wielder gains +1 toughness for each adjacent enemy, and the sword deals +1 damage. I assume that's, yeah, it's based on psi rating. Portative Manipulator. Using reload on any weapon costs 1 AP less, minimum 0. Sea Delphin. Pattern Omniscient Axe. Inertia Boots. The wearer's melee attack, except Death from Above and Blade Dance ability, is a dodge period or scores a critical hit. Warrior gains +4 MP and does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Got the Toby pattern plasma pistol. Hey, and some more mobile extracticums. Or extractiums. But they're very expensive. I have 20 profit factor right now. Deflection gloves. These gloves allow the wearer to parry melee attacks with their ranged weapon using ballistic skill instead of weapon skill. Oh. Got stims. +4. Immediately gain +4 MP and AP at the expense of half as much lost. Slice laser gun. Fortress World Origin Tempestus Carapace. Focus Melt a Gun. My oh my. Some more loot there. Enforcer Light Carapace. Useful. More loot. Get another shotgun. Can you even reach that? No, something tells me I will need to figure out that. Yeah, open the door and open that up. Fragment. Can buy goods from the best recolager crews in the sector. Okay. See, internal report. I am writing to inform you that 2 days ago the discharge was interrupted by a raid launched by the Anvers gang. In the attack, 3 loader servitors are put out of commission. Furthermore, 1 cargo container, serial number FVDA1-16165, was stolen along with its contents. Let's see, 1, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I know. So that's the thing I'm looking at. There's Opticon.
How can one find the right way without his light?
Commerce. The container is labeled Destination Janus. It's covered in dust. It's been a long time on the dots. Do a bit more looting. Get more trophies. And Cyber Raven key characteristics. Psi-conductive frame. Cyber Raven gains 20 willpower and 50% maximum wounds. Fancy. Nice. Damn. Okay. Let's see, container is labeled destination. More loot to be had. Commerce 100.
My house would be proud of me.
First glance, these look like standard containers, but their frames have been reinforced, and their sealing improved to keep the smell in. These are being used to transport contraband. Oh, and strange memo. The Holy Book by 1. The Holy Book by the altar. 2. That void damned customs guy. He is always on duty. Does he get any time off? Does he ever leave to piss? Is he a servitor or something? 3, guess what? Hanger by the window. Remember to bow to the Emperor through the window. This looks horrifying. The victim was thoroughly beaten before being shoved into the crack between the boxes. Okay, so that is, I think, going to be the... See, got some aristocrats up here. Finest wines from Janice.
Let's proceed.
Just exploring around, see what I can find. Hangar A1. Diary. Strange memo. Hangar by the window. I should probably get this out. So it's going to be Holy Book by the Altar Wood and Customs guy. 3, guess what?
What deeds await us?
I'm guessing 3 is 3. Walls of the container have rusted and its contents rotted away. A situation that's not uncommon for shipments trying to pass through Imperial customs. Leaflet. Now is our time and not theirs. Go to their homes, drag them out of their beds, carve open their bodies like carcasses at a slaughterhouse. The Imperial Navy, Casbalica, Chorda, Von Valencias, their names mean nothing now. Tomorrow we'll erase them from memory. Go and seize power, as much of it as you can carry. A and V. Okay, so the functionary is 5. Customs guy is 5. Three is 3, and 1 is the Holy Book by the Altar. Yeah, rank 5, functionary, more Orbital Valley. Altar. Where's the altar?
Watch out.
Some more goods here. Enhanced optics. For Cyber Eagle. Grenadier's Cloak. The wearer and their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. Ooh.
I've read about this.
Container is marked with foodstuffs, but it's empty, and by the looks of it, has not been moved in a while. Another leaflet from ANV. No, more anarcho-commie bullshit. Adeptus Arbitus Helmet. The wearer gains plus 15 coercion. The wearer is the arbitrator. They gain 20 coercion instead.
Another step.
I know who's getting that. Aha.
I did it?
A small altar, the central spot, has been given to Drusus. A saint from the neighboring Calixus sector, was widely revered in the Coronis expanse. So this is the altar. Talk to the pilgrim. There's the book. Volume 3. Life of St. Drusus, Volume 3. So 3531. Should be the code over here. I guess it'll be 4-1. Yay! Because it's the one remaining. So what do we get for all of that? Some auto guns, some auto pistols, Psycho's footwear. These boats grant the wearer plus 3 dodge until the end of combat for each psi power they use. Stacking. Interrogation goggles. These goggles grant the wearer +5 bonus to lure Xenos, and more hit chance against Xenos. The wearer of this cape is immune to burning. Also, whenever the wearer ends their turn, burning is removed from all adjacent allies. Whoa. A couple of those would be quite valuable. I don't have boots, so the boots will be easy enough to put on. Lance's cloak. I think just being immune to burning as a pyromancer is just kind of a good idea. Let's see. Date. Newest to oldest. I don't know, does anybody need a shotgun? That's still an autocannon. Bringer of Terror. Heavy weapon, but heretical, life-draining sword, heretical, rebel sniper rifle, foe hammer. Doesn't really have any requirements for use. Oh yeah, you can. I'm just not planning to use them. Sorry, mono knife, flamer. Flamer is just a flamer. I don't know, I guess I could give the shotgun to Abelard. I don't know, it would be a good secondary for Cabela, I think. It's kind of a thing of, she can't quite get there, but she can at least swap out and take a shot. Really need all the generic knives and other stuff. Heretical stuff I can definitely just shove into cargo. You know, I could probably make good use of the Biomancer's staff. Power level 6 versus power level 9, so never mind. Diviner's staff, which would be good for someone who's not here. Two-handed. So, I guess I could hand it to Argenta. It's like Unfading Valor is great. Yeah, let's give it to Argenta for now. I know I kind of have her built. Where did you go? There you are. Built as a heavy gunner, but still an autocannon really isn't that inspiring. Let's see, it's 12. Chainsword's a chainsword. Mars pattern does more damage. Anyway, more importantly, I should probably be looking at armor. Enforcer light carapace. actually worse than the Splinter's ritual vestments. Basically the same as my Sin skin right now. The Stronghold shield, more heretical stuff to shove into cargo. Okay. Oh, right, didn't I have another thing to equip? So yeah, dropping the demon tool in favor of denial of nightmares for when I'm dealing with demons. Put on the fireproof cloak. Look for the lower warp there. Let's see, so either immune to critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat, or permanently gaining resolve whenever killing enemies. Yeah, let's go look at some other stuff. A few arbitrators and bureaucrats. Rank 5 functionary and more Betio Cavalli. Rank 5 functionary Alangris Questoris. Huh? What? Don't distract me.
I'll chart a course
Onwards,
for
the
you.
rest of Footfall. Shadow Quarters, actually. See if we can pick some more fights. Citizen, activate the elevator. Yes, Scout, could you do that?
The Shadow Quarters. When I was last on Footfall, I used to take my weapon and wander this area, anticipating an encounter with a mutant or a bandit.
I enjoy it here. This place reminds me of the flagship's freight line. Almost like home.
It wasn't time that destroyed these tiles. They were definitely pried out with purpose and diligence. Guards, citizens. More anvil and our comedy bullshit.
Litany of reconnaissance recited.
More of them. Well, it's a flamer like that, you idiot. We're almost revealed here. We'll show you how it's done. I'm just not feeling it anymore, that's all. The guy is pretty much just a cinder now. It was a lot more fun when he was alive and thrashing about. Oh. Refugees, light, I see the light.
More enemies to face judgment. We are truly blessed this day.
Look at that, here comes another training target for us. Fire it up, you lot. Alright, Cassia, you hold up in the back. Cabela, you move up. Abelard, you also move up. Pascal. There. Azathoth will go ahead and stand at the back. Augustus, you should also stay in cover. Cassia, you move it there. Argento there. Let's see, Cassia.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Let's go ahead. Get started on things. It's your turn. And let's go ahead and get revealed in light on Abelard. Of course, you can't actually see him, so that's not an option. Can you do it now? No. Yeah, you're just kind of in a bad position, so I'll just have you sit there.
Guided by faith.
Go ahead and start
That
on
is
things.
for the weak.
And just absolutely out of luck.
I'll do it.
Here we go. Let's make it quick.
Hey.
On in, maggot.
Out of my way.
What is the ring?
Alright. Oh. Of course.
As the tenants.
Let's just start with 2 charges of that.
Trust me.
Up there.
The other side awaits.
The undying Emperor whispers his will.
My blade whispers your name. An offering of blood.
That's nice. Let's go ahead and get where it hurts.
Let your soul be purged.
Hop around some more. Just really wear down on the cinder fella.
I shall not fail. Death is a blessing.
And
The
then
shadows
acrobatic
will
artistry.
see done. Aim for the heart next time. I feel nothing, fear nothing.
I shouldn't have done that. Not much to be done now.
Hold on.
Let's get to it.
Yes, gather together.
Let's get to it.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
So then. Really influenced. Oh, you're stunned. That sucks. Let's go ahead and get herb relocated there. A little bit. Yeah, of course. Purification and discharge.
It will be done. I will do my duty.
And
At your beck and call.
before charging them. And then Cassia.
I'm afraid not.
Of course, I can't actually see everyone. Yeah, you go ahead and open your eyes.
I have read tomes of military tactics. Duty demands.
And now you can get Abelard.
That is foolishness.
Some stuff. Front line.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Scared yet?
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Okay. And ouch. Alright, I just...
This goes against the tenets.
Frankly, I'm not even sure what to do right now. You don't even have a med kit on yourself.
As
Might as well take out those guys.
Brings me no pleasure.
And yeah, might as well just go out and zap. Okay, we have some fresh injuries. Does anybody
What
have...
advice do you seek?
Yep, Abelard has one to use on Bella.
Let's patch you up.
Though I gave thee my blood and my pain, thou hast ordained that I shall live.
Let's make sure to actually equip everyone with med kits. They can use them. Now, big old pile of stuff. Some more miscellaneous trophies. So, on a pistol, axes, chainswords, hand flamers, shotguns, a thunder hammer, fire blast carapace, medium dodge penalty, +2 deflection, and +20 armor against fire damage, as well as immunity to burning, and +10% armor against melee attacks. Few grenades and Enver's note left from Cinder's crew. He's waiting for you. You know the place, so be there on time. The turn can be seen from the entrance to the Adeptus. Make sure some gawker doesn't see where you're going. A new, particularly aggressive gang has set up shop on Footfall, showing no fear of either the liege or rogue traders. Their thuggish behavior must be stopped.
Carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
There. So, worker. Let's go with Pascal, pick up open.
Operation
Next.
successful.
Looks to clear the rubble.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Getting us Indomitable Rage for Cybermastiff. And Grenadier's Gloves. Using grenades costs 1 less AP for the wearer, and enemy suffer +2 damage from the wearer's grenades. You got Tech Use Gloves. You don't have a cape. Give you the Grenadier's Cape. Yeah, there it is. Grenadier's Cloak. Just kind of give you grenades.
It is my destiny to traverse the unknown.
Let's see, well-worn poster with a call to serve the Imperium. See, now is our time, and it's more Enver. Leaflets. From behind the closed doors, you hear the humming of primitive washing machines and the voices of laundry workers singing simple songs. Wastewater, unsafe for drinking or organ purification, is not being used for laundry.
This master-crafted patella augment is not fit for a servitor.
Yeah. And then back up here. Go and try the other path then. See what's up.
Onward.
Some exterminators. Some goods all the way down there. More those. And back up here. Some traps.
If such is the Emperor's will.
Extermination Brigade. Herald's India Chorda has replaced Caligo's Winter Scale as footfalls. Let's see. That'll be a little bit later. Yeah, okay, that's where I came down.
Blessed be the road that we take.
And leaflet there. A small nook in the stone is empty apart from dust and a few scraps of paper. There's evidence the cache once had a small door covering in it and a locking mechanism.
Executing request.
The indistinct hum of discontented voices hangs over the crowd. The street vendors seem to be lacking some essentials, and in their impotence, the people do not hold back their angry exclamations and curses. A few shopkeepers. I don't know if I can actually talk to them. No. While the crowd look greedily at goods for which they have neither coupons nor money.
My visions showed this path.
Lore Imperium.
As it should be.
Under a layer of rust, scratches, and ancient paint, the silhouettes of long erased letters are barely visible. Undoubtedly, in the past, this filthy sign was adorned with the proud name of the bureaucratic heart of the entire Imperium, Adeptus Administratum. All is calm on footfall, mostly. Let's see, where does that lead? Can I please sit up there? The Martyr's Endurance. Very much a case of can't get down there from here.
Optimal route.
Looks like there's more along there, maybe. I can get up there. Okay, looks like this would take me down.
I'll guide your vessel and lead you on your way.
Oh. Guess I'm not getting over there. So I suppose I will wander on to the martyrs, whatever. The martyr's endurance. Adeptus Amosecus. Tech use, 97%.
Oh my, this place has so many colors. Every shade I can imagine is floating in the air.
Under the floor, you can see the remains of the void ship's life support systems. It seems that whoever dismantled the vessel decided to just leave it in place. Assorted goods.
See, right there.
Yeah, I see it. Suspicious prowler. Citizens. Scal.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Medicaid 100.
The Vizier.
Stuck to the plates are lumps of sawdust, toxic waste that is sometimes passed off as ordinarily nutritious starch.
Never wondered so much before.
Nope. Wonder what this is. I'm just kind of wandering around randomly. Well, that happened. By the throne, that's him, isn't it? The poor sapper got his tongue cut out by the anvers. That's the one. I think he was from the Cosbelica. His troubles are over now. Yeah, it's gonna help you.
My house would be proud of me.
The upholstery of the dirty sofa moves slightly. Soft hissing can be distinctly heard from the depths of the furniture.
Activating motive force reserves.
It's this mastercrafted power maul. Which I think is gonna do more damage. Yeah. Ooh, that power swing. I think I'm gonna use it over the Munitorium shovel. And then swap them out.
Follow the threads.
Thugs guarding Riza. The woman looks to be in her 40s. She is surveying you with interest. Her right eye appears almost black against her dusky skin, while her left eye emits a greenish light filtered through the smudged lens of a prosthesis. Her arms are tattooed all the way from the base of her shoulders to her knuckles. Looking for something specific? You're buying, maybe selling? Don't be shy, just ask. Old Riza knows all kinds of folks. My boys will fetch you anything your heart desires. Grandpa Bakval says hello. Riza's face breaks into a broad smile. That old rascal, I thought he'd croaked in the mines a long time ago. But old man Bakval's still alive and kicking, you say? Me and him have been through a lot of interesting scrapes together. Oh, and all the weird and wonderful things we've acquired. Buckfall wouldn't send his regards along with just anyone. You must have done him a good turn, and because of that, old Rizzo's gonna give you a special discount. Let's see, 5 profit factor discount on items from the Fellowship of Void faction. Nice. Who are these boys you work with? Rizzo lowers her booming, raspy voice. You heard about how the Clipper St. Cognitius got hit recently? Cargo was cleaned out, everything of value was taken. Well, that was my boy's handiwork. We call ourselves the Fellowship of the Void, an association of enterprising, like-minded people who help the upstanding citizens of the Imperium rid themselves of the positions that are weighing them down. You notice Ablar's face twist in disgust. It would seem he has a rather strong opinion on the individuals of whom Riza refers as the Fellowship of the Void. Terribly noble of you! Riza nodded solemnly. It's a heavy burden, but someone's got to do it, don't they? I'm glad you see where I'm coming from. What kind of goods are you willing to buy? Tech is always the best. If it's broke, no sweat, we'll fix it or take it apart. Score something so nasty that your fussy everyday traders won't look at it. Fear not. Just bring it on over. Leave it to me and my boys to find the right buyer. The handling of sacred technology by laypersons uninitiated in the Omnissiah's priesthood is a Category 8 blasphemy. Incriminating evidence of profane acts perpetrated by the unit named Old Riza has been recorded for use in future judicial proceedings. She chuckles darkly. Do you mean to threaten me, Tech Priest? Well, then I'll keep a record of this conversation, too. I wonder which of us will feel the harsh hand of justice first. Will it be me, standing in chains before your brethren, or you, standing in an airlock before my boys? Let's see what you have to offer. Heavy Swashbuckler's Coat. Plus 10 parry reduction and plus 5 armor penetration for melee. That'd be nice. Bayonet Knife. On the wheeler attacks with any ranged weapon in a 1-cell range, the attack also inflicts 4 bleeding. Huh. Serrated Great Sword, which is just a sword. Only 5 profit factor. On a critical hit, this sword inflicts 1 stack of the laceration effect. For each stack of laceration, all attacks the sword makes against the same target deal plus 10 damage. Or 10% damage. I'm gonna grab that, actually. Seems really nice. Anyway, so you want heretic trophies. Do I have enough of any of those? No, I do not. Hide untradeable. Xeno artifacts. Nope. Jewelry. Got a whole lot of that. And some ship components, huh? Some ship components and a little bit of ranged weaponry. And that also got me back. Oh, but I need reputation 4. Alright. I also take armor kits. Okay, let's go ahead and get that new sword on our gear. Yeah, it's a major improvement. Oh, but it's two-handed! Oh! Which is great! What is it? Okay, it's a touch better than... but that bleeding. Guaranteed bleeding. I'll keep it on you anyway. Oh, and there's some stuff back there to pick up. Go, Pascal!
Operation successful.
Clear out their
Whatever
safe.
you wish.
Gorde Skata. Flabby man in worn clothes is sighing sadly over a glass of murky booze. Only when he looks up at you do you notice his eyes, large, piercing, and full of sorrow. A stark contrast to his unkempt appearance. Could it be that someone actually wishes to keep him company? Allow me to introduce myself. Gorde Skatov, architectural historian. You look deeply despondent over something. What happened? Gorde sighs heavily. Here I go again, pouring my heart out to have you disappear in 10 minutes, just like everyone else before you. But alright, here's the story of Gorde Skatov, the unluckiest historian in the Imperium. I was born 2 sectors away from here. My family was quite influential, which allowed me to dedicate myself to my great passion, the history of Imperium architecture. I spent a number of years studying every scholarly work there was to find on this art, and then, once I had inherited my family's fortune, I traveled and documented the development of architectural thought on different worlds. Until one day, oh, that accursed and blessed day, until one day I came into possession of something quite special. Gorde pulls what looks like a book or an album with a homemade leather cover out of his bag. Both the pages and the binding look well worn. Here it is, my undoing. This is an authentic booklet titled Dwayne's Design, one of the thousands that were printed centuries ago in the time of Footfall's construction. What a curious read. Please, tell us more. As Cassia takes a shy step forward, Gorde smiles and shows her some of the faded pages. Footfall's founder, Lord Parsimus, was obsessed with his creation's grand future. This booklet describes in detail what Footfall was meant to become upon its completion. Dozens of asteroids turned into glorious palaces and temples, massive bridges spanning the void itself, and the marvelous flying buttresses, the archivolts of the exterior arches, the elegant arrangement of balusters, and the interior. Polyphorus, 10 stories tall and more than a kilometer long. Cyclopean light tubes that catch the light for abundance and use it to brighten the halls and the hearts of the asteroids. Stained glass windows and mosaic, bas-reliefs, and statues. Engrossed in his own description, Gorde stands up and starts tracing the outlines of the arches and galleries with his hands, people say. Emerging from his reverie, he catches himself and blushes slightly, and loudly flops back onto his seat. I apologize, I got carried away. But you must understand how deep an impression this book left on me when my young self picked it up. I simply couldn't think of anything other than Footfall. I was ready to give my life just to see this incredible station, and of course, no matter how hard my friends and loved ones tried to dissuade me, I still gathered all my savings and set on a journey. It is no easy feat to cross 2 sectors, especially for a common citizen, albeit one who has some resources at his disposal. I had to change one ship after another, at times being forced to stay on transfer worlds, waiting for a vessel headed in the right direction or for warp disturbances to subside. The voyage took me a total of 170 years, in real space-time, of course. For me, it was much less than that, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 or 35. And then, after all those years, spent all of my savings, I reached my dream, and what did I see? A dump in place of the exquisite portico. Metal anthills clinging to the columns. Marble tiles pilfered by paupers to use as cladding for their hovels. Gorde hangs his head. It's been a dozen years since I came here, and I still haven't recovered from the shock. I had suspected that not everything from the booklet would exist in reality, but I never expected to see Footfall in such a starry state. It is like stumbling upon the horrible decomposing corpse of your beautiful beloved. Argenta's gaze darkens. The warp, like a shameless thief, is guilty of stealing the short span allotted to his servants. But what sense is there in spending half your life on such an enterprise? Only to then lose your spirit and waste the remaining half on nothing at all. So then ink and paper can lie and cause pain. Cassius sighs sadly. Does this mean that all I have ever read will one day disappoint me with the ugliness of reality? But you're an architectural historian. Is what happened to Footfall not part of its history? Ordell strokes his goatee in thought. Yes, Footfall's current appearance, slums fused together with the remains of majestic palaces. It is a unique phenomenon. It would be curious to observe if other places have taken after it, thereby solidifying it as a new style of architecture, or if it still remains a local oddity. My word, you certainly know how to provide an unexpected perspective on things. Be that as it may, I just wanted to say thank you for hearing me out. Over the dozen years I have spent on Footfall, not one person has hung around long enough to listen to my story to the end. It's such a delight to have shared everything that's been weighing on my mind. I'm poor as a church mouse, but I still have something to offer you as a token of my appreciation. After studying the booklet thoroughly, I discovered something interesting. The ciphered message scattered throughout its pages, taking the form of a riddle, it describes certain places of interest on Footfall. I believe it is the work of the booklet's creator. What if these riddles lead to something? A wondrous discovery? I will gladly share what I have been able to learn with you. Riddles? A flash of burning, almost childish curiosity brightens Cassia's austere countenance. Have you not tried to make this wondrous discovery for yourself? I have, of course, but I'm an old man who's blind in one eye and can barely move his legs. I never found anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to find. Tell me about the places these riddles lead to. The first location from their riddles isn't far from here. It's a bridge that was supposed to go through the center of this district and into the void towards the neighboring asteroid. Only a couple of its spans were built, and even those lie in ruins. Still, if the cache survived after all those years, it is there somewhere. The second location is the Lantern of the Great Cathedral. A lantern is a small tower on top of a dome. You've seen Footfall's atrium, haven't you? The whole atrium is just the nave of the former little cathedral. The Lige's entire so-called palace would have fit inside what was meant to be not but a single room. The great cathedral, had it been built, would have been even bigger, but alas, its construction was just getting underway when Dwayne died and the work stopped. The lantern from its dome, however, had already been built and survived. It was brought inside the atrium and dubbed the chapel of St. Drusus the Warrior. That's all I know of. Wish you luck in your search. Let's take my leave. Nice. Leftovers of pitiful food are stuck to the sides of these plates.
Find the right way without his
Experience.
right?
Nothing matters more.
See, the decanter used to contain a cheap emisec, which, for the sake of attractiveness, has obviously been enriched with a deodorizing agent. Some goods there. Vagabonds, refugees, citizens. Let's go have Pascal look at whatever this is.
The machine guard.
The menu system of the Adeptus Amicecus looks eerily similar to the design of the internal. I can't read it. Oh well. Alright, back to the Shadow Quarter with us.
So shall it be.
But before that... Okay, yeah, everyone's there. Anyway, before that... Time for another diet break. It's water. Wrong thing.
Follow my
Back
steps.
to the shadow quarters. Wonder if that's going to be the hint to get us to the part of the shadow quarters. Okay. Journal. Location the old bridge. The destroyed bridge in the shadow quarter may contain a cache left by the builders of Footfall. Okay, but where's the destroyed bridge?
Marching on.
Looks like a combat encounter waiting to happen. Did I already find it? I have. And note from the bridge cache. The crumbled note left only has the small fragment. Right path seeker. The other caches. Strange gang. Huh? Okay. Bed of Xeno Heresy, Stone Stars. Compiler out of order. Spirit, unknown rot. Classified information. So I have to ask, what strange gang? Not back there. 60th Exterminator Brigade Sergeant, has anything to say? Greetings, sir. What brings you here? Did you want to watch us break our backs out here? Footfall Utility Crew 3 is proud to work for the good of the denizens and guests of the station. The man winks and salutes you with his flavor. What are you doing? Just burning rats, and some trash, and some parasites of other sorts. The district's under quarantine, you see. We got hit by something nasty, a disease. Or maybe it isn't disease, just some bugs and worms what crawled out of some ship or another. It is a bit odd that it happened here and not at the docks like normal. Things are like that. Things like that usually start there. You even spray the place with some gunk to kill the bugs and worms. But I guess something slipped through. Two families in that block over there stuffed it, and Liege wasted no time getting the district surrounded so nobody else could leave. So you don't know exactly what's happened in the district? Disease or bugs or something? No, we don't. We don't want to find out. Something nasty has cropped up. The right move is to contain it and kill it with fire. Not go in to see what it is and why it's there. How exactly did the victims die? Who knows? They found them in their hovels already dead, blue sores in their bodies, and they stink to something awful. Which is why the lot that found them didn't even risk looting the corpses. Good on them, I guess. Doesn't mean we let them out, of course. What measures have been taken to deal with the problem? You're looking at them. Stand here and burn the foulness. We've got people standing guard so no one escapes. Put some mines down, a whole load of them, for the same reason. The water, the sewers, all blocked off to stop any communications getting out. The air is open, I suppose, but the foulness doesn't seem to be airborne. There haven't been any strange deaths outside the quarter. Are the people trapped in the quarantine zone being provided with aid of any kind? Of course not. I heard Reverend Hieronymus has been praying for their souls, which sounded more like retribution fell upon them, and rightly so. It's the most they can hope for. I wish to enter the quarantine zone. No, Dice, not gonna happen. We're letting no one in. Actually, right now, bribes and intimidation don't work. So don't even try. You can file a petition with the Liege if you're so desperate, but my advice to you would be to go on your merry way. The Void's got plenty of nasty, dangerous holes. You don't have to die in this one in particular. You'll go in and die, and that means I'll have more corpses to burn. He pointedly turns right away. Lights! I see lights! Okay, so one cache. It's like there's a mention of a strange 12 more hours, and then I can sleep. Gang. But that seems to be a lot of it. Mr. Footfall. Oh, I haven't even gone into the atrium just yet. But Tattered Spirit, huh? The completion of the ship's inspection. Visit Village's palace.
The light of terror shines for us.
Drusus. I guess it was mentioned that it was in the atrium. So it's the atrium. Which means a whole new area.
This place was intended to be
columns
merely a hall within the
appeared here
temple,
back when the
but
station
now
was
a whole
founded.
city has been squeezed into it.
A rational decision. Ecclesiarchy temples lack the critical functionality that a void station requires, unlike the chapels of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Anyway, these columns appeared here back when the station was founded. It was assumed that Footfall would become a wondrous palace in the stars. Large medikits. Citizens and guards and... yeah, my throat's already starting to get sore, so I think I'm gonna cut things off here. Next time we continue exploring Footfall and putting off actually meeting with the Liege. And tomorrow, more jump making, Thursday, finishing off the second playthrough of Dispatch. And Saturday, I don't know just yet.